I am Eden Haugland, and I am a first-year student at the Academy of Osteopathic Science, and I'm here with Eric Sanderson, the director of the program. And my first question for you today is, why am I a lucky bastard to be in this program? You mentioned, you mentioned that in class, and I'd really like to know why.
I did mention that, didn't I?
You did.
I would say something like that. Because it's true.
Okay, why?
You know, I did 2 osteopathic trainings and a lot of other studies after that, right? Traveling around, visiting different osteopaths throughout the US and Europe. And I kind of wanted to figure out kind of what were they doing, what could they contribute? Like if I was to say in a nutshell, you know, like what would you want to learn, or how would you structure a program? I heard some very interesting things. And I saw some things that they were talking about that would work, and some things that they talked about how things wouldn't work. So I said, okay, I'm going to learn from them, I'm going to listen to them, and I'm going to start implementing that stuff so we don't waste time with things that don't necessarily work, or ideas that are now ready to be disposed of.
Right.
Because one of the problems with osteopathy is they hang on to old concepts that have been disproven, they don't let it go.
So you're taking everything that you've learned over the course of your entire career, and you're amalgamating it into one program with everything that you've found actually works, based on the latest science, based on what
concepts. Not like concepts like, here's a concept, now we'll throw it away, and here's a practical. Like, here's how the practical works, and here's how that is supported by the concepts, which is supported by science.
And that is the program you wish you could have taken.
Yes. So it has like the connective tissue concepts, which are very powerful, like super powerful, and explains the biomechanics. You know, people talk about biomechanics, but like, what is it on a nuts and bolts from the micro to the macro level? That's connective tissue biomechanics, connective tissue theory.
Okay.
And then there's certain circumstances where that doesn't seem to pan out. There's certain contexts where that doesn't seem to fulfill on the possibility of that person's health. And that's where I said, bang, functional neurology just fits right in. So it's not like one's right and the other's wrong. It's like one contributes here and the other contributes there. And between the two of them, you have like a really powerful system of being able to address things that other people just can't. They can't because they refuse to look at the other.
Right.
You know, because I want people to come from a position where they're not sure they're right. It's more like they're open to the possibility of being not completely right, of having that little doubt which makes them investigate just that little bit more. And
we've just sort of touched on complexity theory in our first few courses, and it's that sort of touching on the complexity theory concept of approaching the scenario without assuming right or wrong.
You know, one of the things I was talking to a gentleman who, we were talking about medical theory and medical practice. And I said, one of the problems is that people go into a clinician and the person has made up their mind within a minute.
Right.
And they're just looking for evidence to support
their assumptions of what is wrong with a person. And you miss so much, or could miss so much, if that's how you approach the scenario. What
if you went to a practitioner who's always in the investigation of where, not that they're right, where they're trying to understand what's really going on? What would your experience be like as a patient for someone like that? Who's always in the keen listening of what was going on with you as an individual. Changeable minute by minute.
It's a very different way of looking.
Yeah, that's what Still talks about.
Yeah.
That's what Dr. Jealous is talking about when he...
See the health. I like the way you explained that.
Yes.
See the health. So you see, I mean, as a Pilates instructor too, you're trained to see what's wrong with the structure.
Right.
And it's a totally different way of looking at someone if you're seeing what's right. And I really like the way you describe that.
Just think about what you just said, which is really good. It's really, really good. Seeing what's wrong or seeing what's right is judgment. So what if, instead of saying we're going to judge something, we're going to explore?
So your goal is to create open-minded, non-judgmental practitioners.
Yeah.
We're well-versed in many different techniques.
We're going to listen with their hands, they're going to listen with their hearts, they're going to listen with their minds. They have the experience of being really connected with someone. the patient has the experience of someone who's keenly interested in them as a human being.
As opposed to just having decided what the problem is beforehand.
Yeah,
Very cool. I'm excited about this program.
me too.